And in this last episode of my journey up the Rhine, I get to ride an electric bike into the Black Forest and discover the story of an American war hero. And later, I call into the Viking office in Basel and go walking in and around the beautiful Swiss city of Lucerne. I'm in the Black Forest, and I'm discovering it on an e-bike. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The colors are just coming out, popping out like this. It's awesome.
It's my first time with one of these e-bikes.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty impressed. I think I'd like to buy one because
Good.
because they take you just have the fun and none of the pain. Well, no pain.
No pain at all.
That I've had
actually.
anyway. So
yeah,
far.
not so far.
No, I think they're great. They're absolutely wonderful.
They're absolutely fantastic. You still need to work a little bit, right, to make them go.
Yeah, but just enough to be, to feel you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be a motorbike.
Right. Yeah, you can go on long tours.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That you could normally not do, maybe, because you're not fit enough. But with an e-bike, you can.
So shall we carry on into the forest?
Absolutely. Let's
Okay,
carry on.
let's go. Located in the southwest corner of Germany and the home of Gatto, cuckoo clocks and a lot of trees, the Black Forest, which is more green than black, is a place of fairy tales and legends, nature and history. And my battery-powered e-bike was a perfect way to explore it. So Sybil, what kind of, your tours, are they just Black Forest tours or do you do other areas as well?
Well, we do a couple of other areas as well, and in the Alsace in France, but mostly Black Forest.
Oh, you do in the Alsace?
Yes, we do some tours in the Alsace.
And any city tours or no? It's always out in the country, is it?
It's always out in the countryside. It's
Right.
more exciting to explore landscapes like this.
Here, you'll find delightful little family-run farms, like the one my guide Sybil took me to. So Sybil, what have we got here?
Well, it's actually a chapel. Every Black Forest farm needs a chapel. In the old days, they all had one.
Right.
Just because church was in the next village that was too far away in wintertime to go there for the christenings and weddings and funerals and all that. And it's a very
beautiful.
special one.
It's sweet.
I'll open it.
Oh wow, look at this.
Every day at around noon, there's a bell, and the whole family, or who's here, will gather
Right.
for a moment of silence.
And they do that every day?
They do that every day.
What a
This
nice
is their
thing.
motto. Ora et labora. It's Latin for pray and work.
Work.
Right.
I think that's a lovely thing to do. Meet every day at
Yeah.
12 o'clock and just spend a few minutes together. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, just to.
Can I light a candle?
Sure,
that
sure,
okay?
absolutely.
It's a little tradition I have every time I'm in a church,
That's a nice tradition.
just to kind of remember
Bring some light into the world.
my family. There we go. This is the remarkable story of how a 20-year-old baby-faced Texas farm boy became an American legend. In this forest, on the 26th of January 1945, during the Allied liberation of eastern France, Lieutenant Audie Murphy and his men came under fierce attack from massively superior German forces. Historian Malcolm Waddell takes up the story.
And young, 5'5", slightly built, Second Lieutenant Audie Murphy passed out on his first training exercise in the army, changed his plans, and he climbed up onto this burning tank with his map and his telephone. So young Audie tested the gun out and it was working fine, and he began his famous one-man stand right in front of you here. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 26th of January 1945. Now the Germans out there became completely confused. Nobody could believe there was a man standing on this tank. They could not believe it. So their tanks started slowing down while they were trying to work out where this firing was coming from. And Audie said he was absolutely terrified, as you can imagine. But he said all of a sudden, all of his combat experience and his training just cut in. And he said he focused completely on his job, which was to stop those 250 Germans in their tanks getting past him back along the road to the new Bailey Bridge. He said the smoke blew to one side. He saw 12 Germans in the ditch about 20 yards away and just fired at them while he had his visibility. Then he lost it again. He was surrounded by smoke and flames. And then just after that, young Audie lost his phone line to a shell blast. Shell hit here, cut his phone line. So he'd seen their tanks almost coming to a halt. He had lost his communications and he decided to end his one-man stand. He had held them off here for an hour and 20 minutes by himself. And young Audie said he was folding his map up. That's pretty disciplined as well. And he noticed it was full of holes. So he checked his arms and they were okay. But he noticed his right trouser leg was completely soaked in blood. He had been wounded in the leg while he was up on the tank and didn't even notice.
Remarkable, remarkable.
And he said he just slid off the tank here and he didn't feel a sense of triumph in having held them off. Didn't even feel a sense of exhilaration at simply having survived it. Young Audie said all he felt when he was here was a wave of fear and exhaustion come over him. And he said he just walked off down this road, slowly, into the woods. And he didn't look back once.
That's a remarkable story, Malcolm.
It's an amazing story.
You tell it with a lot of feeling.
Oh, you know.
And just to end up with from that exploit, that mad exploit of heroism, Audie Murphy became America's most decorated soldier.
Absolutely.
I got that right?
You're absolutely right. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for this action and the Chevalier d'Honneur by France, France's Medal of Honor. And upon receipt of these two decorations, he became the most highly decorated soldier from America in the whole of World War II because of his action here.
We've reached our final destination on the River Rhine, the Swiss city of Basel. And the chairman of Viking, Karine Hagen, comes on board, meets the crew and records a message to all the Viking staff.
Dear colleagues, today I'm in Basel on the Viking Cara, on a glorious day.
And since I'm in town, I take the opportunity to drop in on the Viking offices, and my friend Joost shows me around.
So this is the ocean floor. So the ocean floor has an ocean ship and the river floor has a river ship.
That makes sense.
Makes good sense, huh?
That's
All
fantastic.
right, let's go to my realm.
I was given a sneak preview of the designs for Viking's new expedition ship, the Viking Octantis, which will be launched at the beginning of next year.
And here you can see this is one of the special operations boats.
Okay.
It's on this particular image, it's not that easy to see, but there is a slipway. That is a very dramatic feature that brings the boats in and launches them out of the rear of the ship.
When everyone's in the boat and the boat just slides out.
Yes, and it's better than a Disney ride.
Okay, here's the question. What does it do when the boat comes back? Does it
When
somehow slide up? Or?
Yes.
You ride up the
Yes.
ramp.
You ride up the ramp. That's how it's designed.
It's like James Bond.
It is a little like James Bond, but much slower, much easier, much more in comfort. Can we ask you questions? How many bottles of wine do we drink on rivers every year?
Give me a second.
This is very exciting. So 1.6 million wine bottles just for the river ships.
Indeed. Indeed.
That's a lot of wine.
That's a lot of wine.
That's a lake of wine. A river of wine.
A river of wine.
You could float one of the ships.
A small sea of wine, really.
Red Sea.
So, Alastair, if anyone in this building knows how many new river ships we have coming on worldwide, it would be Harald. So we have a new ship in Cambodia.
Yes,
We have a new ship in Egypt.
in Egypt. Another one to come the year after.
And we have another one to come the year after. And we have 8 river ships coming on.
Yes.
141 days, 5 continents, and the flag went all the way around the world. That was our very first world cruise.
I was on that ship.
You were on that ship?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
But I don't. I mean, I can't say I remember the flag.
Well, that's the flag.
It's beautiful to see it close up. It's gorgeous. Let me show you the Viking boardroom where the important meetings happen. There's one going on right now. A lot of guests who sail this Rhine getaway itinerary choose to extend their holiday with a visit to the delightful city of Lucerne, so I decided to do the same thing myself. Nestled between snow-capped mountains and a sparkling lake, Lucerne is one of Switzerland's prettiest cities. From its famous wooden chapel bridge to the frescoes on the medieval buildings, it's a place to wander and lose yourself in its charms. After a well-earned glass of Aperol Spritz on the terrace of the lakeside Schweizerhof Hotel, I went to meet Karine Hagen and her dogs Finza and Charlie for a walk in the woods. Switzerland has a high trust culture, as I discovered when we visited this Hofladen, which are a kind of farm store offering dairy products, baked goods and seasonal produce like fruit, vegetables and berries. There is an honor system at work here, meaning that there are no staff in the store. You just choose what you want, write down what you've taken, add up the total and leave the money in a tin. How cool is that? And high up, above the lake, as the sun dipped below the mountains, we ended our walk and lay on the sweet-smelling grass, listening to cowbells and breathing the crisp autumn air. On the last night of my travels, sitting by the water in Lucerne's old town, we ate a classic Swiss cheese fondue, and I shared some of the adventures I'd had on my journey. That mad cycling experience in Amsterdam, and the beauty of the Kinderdijk windmills, my enormous lunch in Cologne, and the passion of the chocolate maker in Strasbourg, and of course the castles and the wines, the history and the art along one of the world's greatest rivers.